And 3. The principal had to suggest classroom applications that teachers might not already know. That's why there are 9 principles, rather than a nice round number like 10. I simply do not know more than 9. Many of these principles likely won't surprise you. Factual knowledge is important, practice is necessary, and so on. What may surprise you are the implications for teaching that follow. You'll learn why it's more useful to view the human species as bad at thinking rather than as cognitively gifted. You'll discover that authors routinely write only a fraction of what they mean, which I'll argue implies very little for reading instruction, but a great deal for the factual knowledge your students must gain. You'll explore why you remember the plot of Star Wars without even trying. And you'll learn how to harness that ease of learning for your classroom. You'll follow the brilliant mind of television Dr. Gregory House as he solves a case. And you'll discover why you should not try to get your students to think like real scientists. You'll see how people like Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen have helped psychologists analyze the obvious truth that kids inherit their intelligence from their parents, only to find that it's not true after all. And you'll understand why it is so important that you communicate that fact to your students. Why Don't Students Like School ranges over a variety of subjects in pursuit of 2 goals that are straightforward but far from simple: to tell you how your students' minds work, and to clarify how to use that knowledge to be a better teacher. Chapter 1. Why Don't Students Like School? Question. Most of the teachers I know entered the profession because they loved school as children. They want to help their students feel the same excitement and passion for learning that they felt. They are understandably dejected when they find that some of their pupils don't like school much and that they, the teachers, have great difficulty inspiring them. Why is it difficult to make school enjoyable for students? Answer. Contrary to popular belief, the brain is not designed for thinking. It's designed to save you from having to think, because the brain is actually not very good at thinking. Thinking is slow and unreliable. Nevertheless, people enjoy mental work if it is successful. People like to solve problems, but not to work on unsolvable problems. If schoolwork is always just a bit too difficult for a student, it should be no surprise that she doesn't like school much. The cognitive principle that guides this chapter is: people are naturally curious, but we are not naturally good thinkers. Unless the cognitive conditions are right, we will avoid thinking. The implication of this principle is that teachers should reconsider how they encourage their students to think, in order to maximize the likelihood that students will get the pleasurable rush that comes from successful thought. The mind is not designed for thinking. What is the essence of being human? What sets us apart from other species? Many people would answer that it is our ability to reason. Birds fly, fish swim, and humans think. By thinking, I mean solving problems, reasoning, reading something complex, or doing any mental work that requires some effort. Shakespeare extolled our cognitive ability in Hamlet. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason! Some 300 years later, however, Henry Ford more cynically observed, "Thinking is the hardest work there is," which is the probable reason why so few people engage in it. Author's note: a more eloquent version comes from 18th century British painter Sir Joshua Reynolds. There is no expedient to which a man will not resort to avoid the real labor of thinking. Both Shakespeare and Ford had a point. Humans are good at certain types of reasoning, particularly in comparison to other animals, but we exercise those abilities infrequently. A cognitive scientist would add another observation. Humans don't think very often because our brains are designed not for thought, but for the avoidance of thought. Thinking is not only effortful, as Ford noted, it's also slow and unreliable. Your brain serves many purposes, and thinking is not the one it serves best.